Well, hello. Thought I would do a chat with me for the new year 2025. Happy New Year's. As you can see, I'm in a different angle. I'm on a different desk. I swapped this was a diamond painting desk, and then I put the diamond painting where the cross stitching was. I only did it because of this light that I use. I've mentioned it before. It twists up, and it wasn't holding on to that wooden desk, even if I put anti-grip stuff on there. So I was like, okay, I gotta do something. So I decided to go ahead and change it over here, and I didn't move everything over here because I want to make sure this is what I wanted. But yeah. So how'd you guys' New Year's go? Did you get woken up? Did you stay up? It's old news to me. I didn't even bother staying up, but I like to take sleeping pills to knock myself out so I won't be woken by the illegal fireworks and the cannons that go off and all that other jazz. But sure enough, I was. So yeah, with that, I don't do anything special. I don't stay up. I don't mean to stay up, but if I happen to be up, then so be it. But I don't make it a point to stay up, I should say. So, got this tumbler at Goodwill, and it looks like one of the ones that Temu would sell. Because I can put ice in here, and the next morning there's still ice in here. It's a very, very good cup. I like it. Only thing I don't like is whenever you have to fight with this in order to screw it on correctly. And it seems like the rubber gasket was a bit dry, so I put oil on it, but it still seems, it doesn't go on smoothly, but I use it, so there's that. I have a whole list of things I'm going to talk to you guys about. So buckle up, get yourself a drink, do the usual. And tonight, I'm going to have a live chat at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you catch this beforehand, want to stand up, or stay up, and you will see this exact angle because I've gotten everything set up. I've been trying to do live throughout the day. Can't get anybody to converse. You have up to 12 people in the chat, and then it goes down to 3, and nobody wants to talk. So ridiculous, but I know it's going to work, so that is my story for that. I also put up a new video on my Hop and Frog Hobbies page. It was for tarantulas. Not everybody likes them, so you're forewarned on that. And I did a short to see if anybody wants more content like that. I am trying to still booster up my subscribers on that channel. This channel is like 232 now, and it's just steadily growing, which I really appreciate. I wish more would be coming to the live. But I need that that Hop and Frog Hobbies channel to grow to 50 so I can do some lives and do some different things other than this floss, because this channel I want to keep, strictly to the floss if I can help it myself. All right, so we talked about the spiders. Oh yeah, I did change out one of my tarantulas. It's called a Venezuelan sun tiger. Very beautiful spider. If you want to go look it up, it's a deep reddish orange abdomen with stripes. Looks like a tiger. I got several different species that have the stripes on the butt. So I changed that out from a little round container to a big old huge tank. So that's in the video. I've been making hats for the elderly. I had 10 days off. I started making a bunch of hats, and I did like 50 lines or 50 rows. I was trying to think on this and talk at the same time. And every time I was done with that, the brim would always roll up. Even if I try to iron it lightly and block it and steam it, it still rolled up. Well, then I found myself a true beanie where you do 125 rows, and then you take the bottom and cinch it up and bring it through the top, and then cinch both things together, and it works great. And then you can roll up a brim too. So I've been doing several of those. I'm on my third one. And whenever I have a minute, I'll just walk into the living room and start cranking out a couple of rows and making it go. It's very fun and entertaining, especially when you have the hang of it. I know I have plenty of yarn to go through. So I've been doing that, dropped them off. The next time I drop more off, I'm going to have a picture with the staff because nobody else is donating there. They only have, one of the residents that's making her own thing, and it's not like she's making hats for everybody. She's doing her own thing, and it's like, okay, I'll keep going. And they have about 75 residents, so I dropped off probably about 25 to 30 already. And I can go through my yarn, I can practice, it just helps me out as well as them. And then I can start working on the panels and figuring out how to do like scarves and stuff. But that panel on that 48 pin machine is quite big. It goes all the way until about 4 or 5 pins that are left. That's quite big. And it's usually meant for Afghans and blankets, not necessarily a scarf. Unless I do one that wide and then fold it over. So we'll have to experiment on that. But I've been enjoying the machine. There's still mistakes with things being dropped, and it's going to take a minute before you get used to it. And I still will use the peg looms. I want to get myself a smaller Centro, the 22 peg that's meant for scarves and for socks. I found one at the Goodwill, but it was all sorts of broken up and weird, and I just returned it and said, this is a mess, just throw it away, don't put it back on there. So got my money back on that. Trying to finish up my lighthouse here on the bottom corner, so I had to sew myself some extra material on there to get down here in the nitty-gritty. The corners are the hardest bit about this whole cross-stitching. If I ever get bored, I'll do something other than the lighthouse, but as I said in many videos before, I have a deadline of June that I want to get this done by, because I'm leaving to the coast at the end of June, and if I can get close to finish, then I can go ahead and switch out and do other things to find out, I want to get this done. The only thing that bothers me on this is, which I'm glad I reminded myself, I will look right now and show you what I mean, is, oh gosh. Alright, let me see here. When it comes to the lighthouse, yeah, that's what I thought. My lighthouse up here, the tower, it is crooked. Well, not crooked, it's off by one. It goes sideways, so the top part of the tower is off to the left. So it's like it's falling or whatever. I don't know if I can correct it, fix it. Or I don't know if that was meant to be because it has all the black around it I have to do still. But anyway, I'm sure there's a way of correcting it, and it will be interesting. That's the only thing I've noticed that didn't turn out too well. Alright, green, or not green, I need a pink arrow 413. I managed to go ahead and change out all my floss from those cards to these crystal clear plastic ones. They came out really great. So I have them on hooks over here down below. So here's 413, what I need, which is right there. 413 is a dark gray, and it's going to go on the bottom. I don't like how a lot of white is showing through, or the background, I should say. But at a distance, it should be fine whenever we wash it, and you won't even pay attention. Nothing's perfect and solid anyway. Just like diamond painting, I'm just seeing if I have any more of this color before I start a new strand. I have a tendency to take out a big strand and then forget I have it there, and then start another strand, and it's annoying. So I got quite a bit, so one strand will be good enough. But yeah, our weather, we had Friday, about a half an hour before I had to leave home, we had this big old snowstorm coming through. It said it was going to have snow, but they didn't say any significant. It was like a 0.25 inches. And it was all going sideways, and it was windy and big chunks of snow, and it was sticking to the grass and some in the pavement. The cars were all covered. By the time I got home, it had stopped, and it was melted and gone the next day. And I'm like, okay, that was fun. But yeah, we're pretty late for our snowstorm. We usually get something by now. And we've had it as early as Halloween. I remember years ago, probably over 10 years ago, I was trick-or-treating in this other subdivision I lived at. And it was like, do you believe this? Snow on Halloween. I was like, yep, believe anything now. So yeah, if you guys can spread the word about my Hop and Frog Hobbies page, I'm going to try to get that going. A lot of these people have thousands and thousands of views and likes and stuff. And I notice with mine, it's always a lot of views, barely any likes, and hardly any comments. I know comments aren't the thing that make the channel, but I survive off of comments because I like to engage in conversation, and I encourage that in some of my videos, and I still just don't get a lot of conversations going. I guess it just all depends upon the audience and what you're talking about, if they have anything to say. And all those I've subscribed to and said something to them, do you think they come over to your channel? No, because you have two different things. And you know, they may not be interested in your channel and the things that you're showing. So I have Temu hauls, Marshall hauls, grocery, Goodwill, all the things. I barely go to Walmart. I had to go there to get some cat litter because my cat litter from Chewy doesn't get delivered until Tuesday. So I went ahead and just got a container of it to last until then. It's hard to find myself some cat litter because I got 3 cats, and I have tried even that sawdust stuff that they advertise. Don't even bother. It just goes down into sawdust, tiny little, I don't know, you don't call it fibers, but powder. And it doesn't stop the smell. It doesn't clump up like they said. I had to end up putting a bunch of regular clumping litter with it just to make it work, but I'll never go back to that sawdust stuff again. I won't do those white pellets that are supposed to, when they pee, it changes color to show the health. I'm not doing that. But I do love the Clump and Seal. Comes in a box. My problem is I'm having problems with my wrist anymore to grab and pull on that cardboard thing. So now I have to change to some plastic containers to just unscrew the cap and you're done, unfortunately. But yeah, even if I were to take a pair of pliers and use that cardboard strip and pull it, it'd be hard for me. I have trigger finger on my left hand. My right just doesn't work good, and that's my dominant hand, so I have to be careful of what I do, what I force, so I don't lose functionality of things. But I have to, yeah, I'm using those cat litter plastic containers. The good thing is I rinse those out, and I have about, I think, 10 of them in the garage, and those are good because, like, if the electricity goes out for any length of time, I will use that for toilet water. I won't use it for drinking water because it's been through the heat and everything else. The heat and the cold a couple years, 1 year, 2 years. So yeah, it's only used for toilet water. That is good. Let's see what else we talk about. Has. Okay, so in my local area, which is Northern California, if you look on the map and you have a V shape of California, I'm right above that V. We've had lots of fires here, and those fires have caused wildlife to come into town. We've had bears, mountain lions, and who knows about the smaller stuff. But over in another town next to us, which is about 40 minutes away, there was a mountain lion. Somebody had spotted a mountain lion with an arrow through it. And so they called the authority. Even that person who reported it went out to try to find it in their tracks and, you know, where they found it and all this stuff. And so the Department of Fish and Game came out. They got the dogs to track. It was raining, but it was still moist in the ground to where the dogs that were being used left footprints, but there was no footprints of the mountain lion anywhere. The dogs didn't pick up on it, anything. So they're like, hey, if anybody knows anything about this, can you give us a call, let us know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can only imagine a mountain lion having an arrow through it. There's a lot of people who do that. And then one of my friends just said that across from the road from her here in town, it's only about 5-minute drive for me, they found a dead bobcat in the field. So people just shoot things and they don't care, and it's not on an endangered list because her and I have a friend in the Department of Fish and Game. They call it Fish and Wildlife now, I think. And she called or talked to him, and he says that their bobcats are not an endangered species list or on the no-shoot list or whatever you call those. So she took it upon herself to go bring it up to a roadway and go bury it. I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. Just like we had an insurance agent guy that killed all those red-tailed hawks. If you don't get caught, you don't get caught. We've had nice-sized bucks that have had arrows in them that they had to put down and chase around town, and it's just a stupid freaking waste. Well, it's not a waste because they will use the meat for, other places, but, and then they'll take the horns off for education, but the future of it all. So, it doesn't surprise me. This morning, I love listening to my police scanner. How many of you like to listen to your police scanner? Being in a small town, it's rare that we have anything major. I mentioned it on another video, a historic hotel that was burnt, and part of it was still standing. Now they're arguing in court whether the person who bought it for renovation has the right to get what he wants before they destroy it, like the old bricks and stuff. And others are like, well, it's a health hazard and vagrants and stuff are going to go in there and then we're going to have a problem. Was there a dead body? Did they do it because of murder? Blah, blah, blah. So, that was a big thing. We've had attempted murders in motels. We've had graffitis on the side of motels. All this sorts of stuff. And so I listened to the scanner this morning, and about 10 minutes from here on the outside of town, there's a trailer park. And it said, it didn't give the age. They just said a hospice patient, a man, had passed away, expected. So then they, said, okay, start the coroner, and they did. And then dispatch tells the officer who's going to, was supposed to go on scene, but hasn't really. And they said, be advised, the wife is having some sort of anxiety or panic attack, and CPR is in progress. They've said several minutes before the anxiety and stress, and then the CPR was in progress, and they're like, shoot, send the ambulance for her. I have no idea what came of that. They said no case number was needed, so I don't know if that means, I don't know. So I made a note of it on the calendar that that's when it happened, and so I'll find out what the name is and see if there's a husband and wife name, but that would totally suck. But a lot of older couples have been married for 50 some odd years will pass, from heartbreak, minutes away from each other or hours or days or whatever. It's just, that'd be so hard to live without your soulmate. Yep, I get it. So that was kind of a wow moment for me. Let's see here. On YouTube, I've been watching a lot of diamond painting people. I kind of hop around because I'm not into diamond painting at this moment, but, that's going to get me encouraged to do more diamond painting. I've also been enjoying the UK version shows of The Sheriffs Are Coming. Have you guys heard of that or seen that? Look it up. It's the sheriffs are the equivalent to our physical cops, but these kind of sheriffs, they don't carry guns. They only have bulletproof vests, and they go to houses and say, you owe money to this person for this reason, and we need to have payment. Well, I can't pay that right now. Well, we're going to start removing assets. And so they start physically removing assets, And all of a sudden payment is, okay, fine, I'll pay. And all this stuff. Or they'll have episodes where the landlord wants to do something with the building that these tenants are in. The tenants aren't in the rears, as they say, meaning they're not behind on their payment. They're good tenants. But the landlords want to do something with the building, so they literally kick these people out. And they're supposed to give them notice. Of course, nobody ever receives the notice, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, do you imagine there's a husband and a wife and 5 kids with one on the way any day. And they're taking suitcases and things for the kids. And I'm like, wow. So they have to get a hold of the council, and they in turn will offer, whatever they have for the circumstance. They're supposed to give them housing, temporary housing, and then they come back and make an arrangement to get the rest of their personal belongings. It was like, wow, that sucks if you're making rent and stuff and you're getting kicked out because the person wants to do something different. That sucks. I never read my contract to see if that was the case. Have a bit of wine cooler with some Chablis and some 7-Up type clear liquid to make my own wine cooler. I can't do wine directly because it's acid reflux time, and we don't want that. Whew, and I notice whenever I do drink something that's a little bit too much and I start getting acid reflux, I notice when I go to bed, if I lay on my back, it's absolutely perfect. If I lay on my left side, then it starts burning. But if I lay on my right side, it's fine. And it shows you on a YouTube video, of course, everything's YouTube, that's the way you're supposed to lay on a certain side because it equals out your stomach's, liquid. But the back is the best for me. And I just end up taking acid reflux hours before I start drinking anything, just in case, because Rice Krispie treats do it for me. If any of you have acid reflux, let me know. And what are the things that trigger you? Have you tried Prilosec? Love that stuff. I haven't had it in a long, long time because it does what it says. You take one, every day in the first packet, and then you don't have to take it for months. Instead of taking these tiny little pills here and there when you need it and you have to wait for it to cure. Yeah, Prilosec is awesome. But let's see, what time's it getting to be here? This down here. It is getting to be, I don't see the time, 10 till 4. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go hop on live on this channel, see if anybody's around. And then I'll be on, like I said, at 7 o'clock. But sometimes I just get bored and want to see who's there on live because there's different time zones. The later I get on, the more people, legit people, the good people, not the one-celled chromosomes, can join me and make a conversation. Otherwise, I have to time people out left and right. So, if you want to join me tonight, hope to see you there. Otherwise, help me out with Hoppin' Frog Hobbies. And to get that to 50, and we can have some fun videos there as well and see what all we can get ourselves in trouble with, right? All right, guys. Thank you for your patience, understanding, comment, subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you there. Bye.